Today, your mind needs safe relationships. Your mind needs safe relationships. I talk about this all the time when I'm doing my podcast and making sure that the people that you surround yourself with, the people that are your inner circle, the people that will make sure that they edify and uplift you and encourage you and be there for you is so vitally important. And sometimes we choose safe relationships or what we think are safe, even though they're telling us these bad things. Verse today is carry each other's burdens. Galatians 6:2, carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. God, help me to build healthy, life-giving relationships. God, help me to build life-giving relationships. Human beings were not designed to heal, grow, or struggle alone. Safe relationships help regulate emotions, strengthen resilience, and remind us that we are not carrying life's burdens by ourselves. We were born for community, and community is such an important part of our lives, and to negate them. And one of the things that I think in the world that we have today that makes so many people sad, so many people depressed, so many people unhealthy is because they struggle to find safe relationships. A safe relationship isn't an online scroll that you do. A safe relationship isn't on Facebook only telling you what's good in your life and not what you're struggling with. And the problem with our social media and our world that lives around social media is that it's only half. It's only half relationships because you're on one side of the screen and you feel safe because you don't have to divulge, you don't have to talk, you don't have to let others in on what's truly going on. But the downside of that is you don't ever truly let others know what's going on. And to have your mind have these healthy relationships, they need to know before you. So two people experience the same setback. One person concludes, this proves I'm failing. The other concludes, this may be a setback, but it's not the end of the story. The event's identical, the meanings attached to it creates very difficult emotional outcomes. One interpretation produces discouragement and hopelessness, and the other creates resilience and perseverance. I remember seasons where several things I had prayed for were not unfolding the way I expected. Doors that I thought would open stayed closed. Opportunities I thought were right disappeared. Delays kept showing up where I expected progress. Without realizing, I started creating explanations for what was happening. I told myself stories like, maybe I missed God's plan. Maybe I'm not capable enough. Maybe this is never going to happen. What God eventually showed me was that much of my suffering was coming from the meaning I attached to the event, not simply the events themselves. I was interpreting every day as rejection and every obstacle as failure. But when the delay was preparation, what the obstacle was protection. And what if God was doing something larger than I could see? My interpretation changed, my emotions changed, the circumstances had not yet changed, but my perspective had. Now I see it. Psychologists call the process cognitive appraisal. The brain continuously evaluates experiences and aligns meaning to them. The prefrontal cortex helps create interpretations and explanations, and the amygdala responds emotionally to whatever meaning it has been assigned. So research shows that the emotional stress is often influenced less by the event itself and more by how we interpret. We talked about this before, how we interpret it attached to the event. Changing the interpretation can dramatically change emotional outcomes. Isn't that crazy? Just changing the way that we see it, our perspective. I remember a movie that had Forrest Whitaker in it. It was called, I think it was called Viewpoint or Vantage Point or something like that. And the movie, the way it has is there was an event that happened, and then they showed the event from all these different perspectives. It was so cool to see that from every single person's perspective, the events change. I think about it in our lives, and how do I try to see the perspective that God may have? And the only way is to ask Him, God, what would you have? How would you love for me to see this? What can I gain? What can I learn? What can I take from this conversation? So the heart connection here is the meaning you assign to a moment often shapes the emotion you feel from it. You can go into it, you could get emotionally charged. As I continue to learn and as I continue to grow, and I'm watching movies and televisions and action flicks and things that I used to really engage in, and it really, I love these action movies where there's, so much fighting and, guns and chases and all these things. And the perspective I'm looking for now is, why does there need to be so much strife? Why did you walk into a room and you have to get upset with somebody else? I think about real life and the situation where I guess a young man is confronting other young men and end up stabbing somebody. And I'm like, why was there confrontation at all? Why is there so much hate? Why do we perpetuate it so much? Why do we need wars? So these are questions I think men have been asking, and it's because it's not our world. But at the same time, why do I have to engage in it? So the invitation is, what situation in your life might need a new interpretation through God's perspective? Take one challenge you are facing and ask yourself, what else could be true besides my first explanation? So the prayer today is, Father, help me to stop assuming that my first interpretation is always correct. Give me wisdom. See my circumstances through your eyes. When disappointment comes, remind me that you are still working, still guiding, and still writing my story. Help me trust your perspective more than my assumptions. Blessing is here is, may God give you wisdom beyond appearances, peace beyond assumptions, and confidence that He is working even when you cannot see the full picture. Our question today is, do you think people sometimes assign wrong meaning to situations? I know I do. Have you ever discovered that the first interpretation of something was incorrect all the time? And how might your emotions change if you view your circumstances through God's perspective? We'll put these in the chat so you'll have them to revisit today if you would like to, or look at now and think about and ponder on. Maybe while we're doing our sitting in silence and clarity, you can reflect upon some of these questions. All right. So